Hi everyone, welcome to Miss Finnemore's art class.
Today we're making the background set for our animation. So we're going to create what's called a triorama using this A3 piece of cardboard. So what you need to do is fold it over into a triangle shape. Fold that back, make sure it's a really clear cut, and then you fold over the other side to make this kind of rectangle. Fold it over again. And then when you fold the triangles out, you should have one square side and a rectangle. Make another triangle by going the other way. Now you should have a square with 4 small triangles inside it. Now you just need to cut one of the edges of the triangles and fold it up and glue it there. So it should end up as like a little stage with 3 triangles for you to put your set inside. Make sure when you glue it down that it's sitting just right. So I had needed to try it again by just pulling it up and shuffling it so that the corners were really neat. But now, as you can see, I have my little set or stage for our animation. So now that the triorama is built, it's time to add some decorations, add some features of the set. So what I've started with is by gluing on some thick cardboard and some thick foamy pieces that I can stick things into, like some little branches that are going to look like trees as a little step for my characters to sit on. So I put those down first and glue them, and then I've covered them in tissue paper. I decided to do light green for the base. And I ripped up some pieces of dark green tissue paper, kind of in the shape of leaves, so in small strips, and glued them towards the top of the triorama. So I'm just using this tissue paper to create a bit of a background before I put on the leaves and bark, so that there's just something behind those bits that I'm adding. So now I'm adding the bark, and I've torn them into small strips to try and look like trees in a forest. And I'm just placing them in and gluing them in like strips. Again, moving them around and playing with the shapes. Lastly, I placed this small little branch with leaves in and poked it into the foam so that it would stand up and look like trees with leaves on them. And now the set is all done, it's time to make our characters. So firstly, I'm going to make our koala character. I'm mixing some white and black modelling clay together to make a grey. And now I've got my grey colour. To make my koala, I'm kind of making the rough shapes of the body. So making a big round circle for the body, some skinnier ones for the legs, a little round one for the head, and really small ones for the ears. So firstly I just split all of the modelling clay into those rough sections, and then I use my hands to roll and squeeze and make all of the different shapes and make them smooth by kneading them with my hands. So as you can see here, I'm using the palms of my hands to roll the clay and keep rolling it around until it becomes either a nice round ball or a skinny little snake, just like you would with Play-Doh. So now my koala is done, and I'm going to make the koala's friends. So the first friend that I'm going to do is this platypus. Again, I'm doing the same thing, grabbing out chunks of the modelling clay that I think will be roughly the right size, and then I knead them to make them smooth and the right shapes that I want. Now I'm making another friend, an echidna. I'm doing the same process again. To make the echidna's spines, I just pulled out really small bits of clay and made them into little snakes by rolling them in my palms. The last friend to do is the cockatoo. Again, I've repeated the same process. I also made 2 skinny snakes to make the wings and then pushed them together. It's a little bit hard to keep my cockatoo standing up, so I had to play with that a little bit, make sure that the base was strong enough. And so now all our characters and our set are finished, and here is the result.
And now it's your turn.